In today's interior design video, I'm gonna share with you 10 decorating ideas and hacks for spring 2022. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 decorating ideas and hacks for spring 2022 for your interior design. I am so excited because I have put together an array of ideas from the bedroom to centerpieces, tablescapes, mantles, and it's going to be so much fun. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's next. We're just getting started with the spring series for 2022, and I promise you it's going to be jam-packed with decorating ideas, interior design tips and hacks that you will not want to miss. Are you guys ready for idea number one? Let's watch. All right, so we're gonna get started by decorating the centerpiece inside of our lantern. And to do that, I'm gonna get one of these clear little plates that are from the dollar store that comes in packs of 6. And I just like to use them as bases. And then also a piece of good foam because we're gonna be poking flowers into it. I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue in it to make sure that it stays on our little plate. That hot glue gun is hot, let me just tell you. All right, so I'm gonna press down onto the little plate to make sure that it just hangs on to it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this moss, and I just love this moss, you guys, and we're just gonna do this to cover the mechanics like this. And this is only about $6 at Walmart, and you get so much moss. Remember, we used it last week on our big lantern with a big bunny, which, by the way, so many of you guys told me that you actually went to Marshall's and bought that bunny. I love it. I'm crazy over it because it's so cute and so representative of Easter. So basically what we're going to do, let me remove this guy out of here so you guys can see. We're gonna go ahead and cover this little dish and cover the foam. And I'm going to go ahead and put my bunny right here, maybe facing sideways. I have named her Sophia, like Sophia Loren. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this white flower really short. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put one right here to kind of cover that foam. And I'm gonna go ahead and do yet another one right here. So she's got 2 flowers. And then I'm going to pick from my wreath one of these stems. And that's why I like having this wreath, because I can just pick from it, and I'm just having so much fun pulling from it. So I'm gonna cut this short. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert into the foam like this. I'll show you by creating an upward motion. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this lateral right here. I'm gonna cut this guy. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the whole thing, but I'm gonna give her a bend like this so it stands up. So basically we're inserting on the foam flat, and then I want that to go up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See what that does? It just creates a backdrop for her. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this short, and I'm gonna put a few of these yellow daisies here on the front. And just continue to cut the little daisies and just add them right here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna leave this one tall and just put it right here like that. How sweet is that? So cute. And then what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these Easter eggs just to bring in some of that blue color. And once again, if you want it to be lateral, just bend that stem on an L shape and then go ahead and poke like that. And remember, I'm working on sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So I'm gonna do 2 on one side. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy, let me spin around my way, right here. And so that way you have 2 on one side and 1 on one. So I'm gonna put her aside. I'm gonna get my lantern so we can do the top, and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. All right, so now we're going to decorate the lantern, the top of it, and we're gonna make a swag. Remember I told you I had this old ivy that I just wanted to use as a base. And this right here, you guys, is a spray that you can buy. And it is to spray your silk arrangements where they look dusty and tired. Like this one was found at a thrift store. So you basically just spray this spray and it brings them back alive. And you don't have to use much of it. And as you guys can see, it's now really vivid green, and I also love using this. You can find this at Shinoda Design Center or any other floral supply stores. It is very affordable, so I really recommend it. It's new and improved. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a swag. So I wanna bring 2 of these down like this and 1 up, because remember, what goes up must come down. So it doesn't matter what is it that you're making, you have to follow that rule if you want your swag to be proportioned and evenly distributed. So right about there, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with my forsythia. And this forsythia is from Walmart. I don't know if they have it right now, but I used this last year. Remember when I decorated my patio and I did this huge floral arrangement of forsythia? If you guys have not seen that video, it's also gonna be linked down below because it was so much fun. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start right here. I want it to be very dramatic. So I'm gonna use a lot of this forsythia because I really love the color yellow, like I said, mixed with blue and white. I just think it is so pretty, as you guys can see in my shirt. So I'm gonna go ahead and remember, this is your core right here. You never let go of your core because your core is where you're gonna tie all of it together. And I want it to be really wild and pretty because when forsythia grows in the wild, and when I lived in Kansas, it grew outside of my house. It just is so disheveled and so pretty, and I think that is the beauty of forsythia. Then I'm gonna add some of these pretty mums, and I'm gonna go ahead and add right here to the core, like this. Then I'm gonna grab this hydrangea, and I'm gonna go ahead and let it fly out a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and remember, what goes up must come down, so I'm gonna bring another one right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna have one of these zip ties. I'm gonna use the white one so it disappears. And I'm gonna zip tie all of this together. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying the spring series. I'm having so much fun. You have no idea how much fun I'm having by showing you guys all of these ideas in hopes to inspire you to create something beautiful. And remember, you do not have to recreate it exactly the same. You can always change it to your colors, regardless of what colors you're using that season. You can just run with the idea and make it your own. So, all right, so that's very tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right here the excess, and I'm gonna put this down for now because we're gonna create the bow for it. And while I'm in here, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these pipe cleaners because we're going to need it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and give it a really long tail, because remember I told you I want it to be really dramatic. And I'm gonna make a bow that is going to represent spring. So basically you do a little loop like this, and this is a one-side printed, so you have to twist it around. And I want it to be starting with smaller loops, and we're gonna create some larger loops, probably as large as the hydrangea, so it's proportionate. And just, we're gonna start creating our bow and twisting. Now, if you don't know how to make a bow, and I have a tutorial on how to make 3 types of bows, and I always recommend it to you guys. The music is really loud because it was one of my first videos, but I'm going to link it up right here, right now, so you guys can go check it out. It really was so much fun and very informational, even though it was pretty loud, because back then I didn't know what I was doing. Well, I still don't kind of know what I'm doing, but I can defend myself now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I have 3 on each side, and I think that's plenty. So I'm going to cut right here because I do wanna save some of this ribbon for the other side of the mantle to just weave it in. All right, so I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner, pull it through here, the main loop, and never letting go of your bow. Remember to pull down. Then what you need to do is you need to pull down this tail going down like this, so it goes down with the rest of it. Pull really tight, then just give it a twist like this, and then you can fluff your bow by bringing some of these tails up and down. And look how cute this ribbon is. I love it. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and bring our swag, and we're going to attach the bow right here on the core. And that's why I like to call it the core, so that way we know where it goes. Like this. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but like this. And then I'm going to twist right here. Now, if your pipe cleaner like mine is too short, all you have to do is grab another one. Let me grab a green one so it matches, and just tie them together by swirling them around. And then you swirl this around. So fun. How cute is this? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it a little bend to all of it together. I'm gonna grab the whole thing, just give it a little bend like this. So that way it curves onto the lantern. And I'm gonna tie it right here. And then we're going to fluff. But before we fluff, I'm gonna get my bunny and I'm gonna install it inside. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, so I wanna talk to you real quick about interior design for 2022. I just attended market, and you guys, let me just say that when we talk about interior design, we think about the construction of the house, the living room, but it really is all about the details. Kind of like this lantern that I just showed you. And it was super easy, affordable, and it really can make an impact, especially for spring. And before I show you how to put a few mentals together, I want to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all the things you don't get to see here on my YouTube channel, like my trip to market. Are you guys ready to see how I put together some mentals to give you ideas for your spring decorating? Let's watch. Okay, so to decorate this side of the mantle to match our lantern, what we're going to need is 2 of these beautiful white hydrangeas. I'm also going to use 2 of these foliages, which is my favorite from Walmart. These guys are only $3, and look at all the greenery you get. So we get 2, and a variety of forsythia and baby moms that I used on the lantern as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just pitch those over to that side because we're going to start with the greenery. Now what I want you to do is grab your greenery and give it a fluff, and that means to touch everything that is separated or a lateral. What you want to do is just go ahead and give it a fluff like this. So what I'm going to do for this case, I could cut it, but I'm not going to because I might need it for a taller arrangement later on. So I'm gonna go ahead and bend it in half, and that also is gonna help us to interlock some of the stems right here. And just make sure you do it really tightly, all right? So I have my 3 candlesticks right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and curve it right here, and I'm gonna put one right here on the back, coming down, and I want it to come down on the fireplace. And then I'm gonna go ahead and insert this one right here, covering some of the candlesticks right here. Then I'm gonna grab my 2 hydrangeas, and I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, use that bent as a grid, and I'm going to put 2 of them right here back to back. So this corner is going to be our core where everything is going to come out of. Now let me get my other stems right here. I have some forsythia, and I'm going to start with some of these short laterals. And remember, forsythia needs to be played with and also a little bit more wild. So go ahead and get my bent. I already went ahead and prepped all of this to be faster. So basically just come out of the core right here and start spilling forward. This is so easy, and I promise you, you will love the way this looks. So we're gonna place some on the mantle right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this forsythia as well, like this. And it's going to match perfectly with the lantern that we're gonna place on the other side of the mantle. Look at that, how cute is that? It's just like you put a branch of forsythia over on your mantle. So I'm gonna make sure this one stands up a little bit like that. Then I wanna grab one of my short ones, maybe this Daisy Mom. Go ahead and place it right here. And look how everything just peels from that corner to both sides. I'm going to grab this longer one, and I'm gonna insert through the hydrangea to make it look like it grew from it. When you interlock flowers like that, they just look more natural, because when flowers grow on the wild, that's how they grow. They tangle together. So I'm gonna add one right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this last one right here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my candles. I'm gonna put them right here on my, let me cross you right here, on my candlesticks. Right here. And remember, these are remote operated. And you can just turn them on, and just like that, you have a gorgeous swag on your mantle. So now I'm gonna put it all together. Keep watching. Okay, you guys, so on this focal point, as you can see, I just did an arrangement and creating symmetry with these beautiful blue and white containers that I found at Ross Dress for Less that I showed you on our last video haul. And what I've done is actually just done some hand tie bouquets that I'm gonna take one out so you guys can see. I basically just gather all of these greeneries, some from Walmart, some from Hobby Lobby, some from Shinoda Design Center, and I just went ahead and bended those stems and zip tied it together. And I just drop it right here on my container. Super, super easy. Making sure that the arrangement doesn't really touch the clock for the hand to be able to go around. And I went ahead and mimic that with the lamps on each side. Now, you know those lamps also came from Ross Dress from Less, and I was actually just shopping there the other day, and I saw they had them available again for $39.99, I believe. So super affordable. I love the way these look with a beautiful clock inside. Then right here, I did a stack of books. And I don't know if you know this, but all of your books, jackets are white on the inside. So what I did is I basically just flipped the jacket around. This is Harry Potter, which is how I learned how to speak English. And then you have a cohesive look right here. I just put a few books here for interest, and I have my Kindle serving as bookends, and I'm just gonna go ahead and turn them on. And just this easy, you can create a beautiful focal point in any room in your house. I love the way this looks. I cannot wait to read your comments, but now I'm going to take you in the living room and show you my focal point over there. Come with me. Whenever we think of interior design, we really don't think about tablescapes, but that is part of our interior design and decorating for our homes. When I went to market, there was so many tabletop showrooms, and I had so much fun looking at them and getting ideas. And now I'm going to share with you a few ideas on how can you set a beautiful table for your interior design in your own home. Let's watch. Okay, so I want to show you how I set this gorgeous table for two, and I'm gonna start with this beautiful wicker charger. This came from a store in Kansas called Nail Hills, and I think they still have them available. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use this blue and white plate that I think it is perfect to go with the ribbon that we use, so it all kinda is a cohesive look. After that, I'm gonna color black my napkin, and for my napkin, I'm gonna use this really beautiful yellow napkin that I've had for quite a few years. And to color black, I'm going to put a white dish. And as you guys can see, that yellow and the blue really just looks absolutely gorgeous together. I love this look. Then for a little whimsy, I have chosen this pretty plate with a gold rim right here. And I've chosen these footed pedestal little bowls to put an Easter egg and one of the butterflies right here in the middle. In this occasion, I'm gonna use my gold flatware, and I'm gonna put the knife actually right here on the top, and I'm going to place my spoon on my right. Remember, spoon and knife have 5 letters like the word right, and fork has 4 letters like the word left, and that's the easiest way to remember it, just like this. Okay, so for my flatware, I chose once again these beautiful blue glasses that I have that I am so obsessed with. There are crystal, and then these amber glasses that I think look so pretty with this particular tablescape. As you guys can see, the colors just blend together, and I love it. And I went ahead and did a beautiful centerpiece with just some twig branches with the daisy moms, and I added all of these butterflies to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here, and as you guys can see, it was super simple yet so dramatic. All right, everyone, so this is my breakfast area, and I also love the way this looks. It is very homey and it's very simple. And what I did right here is just set a really quick table, and using this bottle that I already had from Hobby Lobby, and I'll give you a tip. These bottles are way cheaper at Hobby Lobby than they are at Target. So if you are looking for something like this that is a little bit more in the farmhouse style, then I really recommend to go to Hobby Lobby because you can get it for half the price than you can the ones at Magnolia from Target. So just a little tip. So I have a beautiful set of white dishes, the Hearth and Hand collection placemats. And the one thing that I did not like after a while was the napkin. So I have these ones right here that I got from Pier 1. Actually not Pier 1, but World Market. World Market has these really pretty napkins, and I just thought that it went really, really well with the place setting using the little cheese boards. And right here in the middle, I have this beautiful arrangement of the stems that I got from Target. I love the white flowers. And I have right here the cheese board with some cheeses and crackers and some other things for our gathering. So this is what it looks like. I cannot wait to read your comments. There is just one last item that I want to show you how I use, so stay tuned. All right, let's get started. So you guys know that the very first thing we need to do is glue our foam into our tray with hot glue, and remember to keep the little plastic that it comes in, so that way when it crumbles, you're not dealing with a mess, but it's all contained. Then what I'm going to do, as always, I just like to go ahead and push down and mark my circle like this. And that's going to give me a perimeter where I need to stay within, and then also our bunny is going to be inside that circle. And I think I'm gonna work with the bunny because it is a little wider than the circle for the candle, so that way I can work around both of them. All right, but first what you need to do is you need to go ahead and cover up your mechanics with moss. And this moss you can find at Walmart. It is super affordable. It's a big old bag of it for $6, and let me just tell you, it really does come in handy. And I like it when it's all wild and crazy like this, because you're not really gonna see much of it because we're going to cover with the foliages and the flowers. But if you were to pick through the centerpiece, and you'll see that your mechanics are covered. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna lean my bunny right here, and I'm gonna start greening. And you know, I get a kick of it every time that I get an Instagram message that says that you guys have learned so much from the what happens on the left happens on the right, which is the rules that I actually made up when I was learning floristry to help me remember what I was doing. So remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. I said right, it's right. What happens on the right happens on the left. And so also when you insert your foliage, make sure that you give it a little twist like this to give it more character. All right, so what happens on the right happens on the left. And if you do not have a Lazy Susan, I really recommend to invest in one, because they just come in handy for floral making, because you can just spin it. And the balance of a floral design, whether it's a centerpiece, a wreath, a floral arrangement, it is all in the twisting, you guys. You have to learn how to twist your arrangement. That way when you look at it from other angles, it's all balanced. All right, so what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up, remember, must come down. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this guy right here, and he is a little too big, so I'm gonna just split it in two right here. So instead of just cutting it, I did two, and I'm gonna go ahead and, remember, what goes up must come down. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there, and I'm just gonna use this guy right here in the corner because it's an extra one. Then I'm gonna bring in my eucalyptus, and I always like to work on my right because it is easier for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here, kind of cover it, give it a little bit down. What happens on my left happens on my right. And I don't know if you guys notice, but I always insert on the left first. I don't know if because I'm a right-handed person, I don't know. What happens on the left happens on the right, and then immediately go opposite the other side of your centerpiece. I'm just gonna go ahead and add this guy right here in the corner. And how cute does this bunny look in all of this grass? I mean, all he needs is a few flowers and he'd be good to go. But this is Ramon at home, so there's not such thing as just a few flowers. All right, so then I'm gonna start with this really pretty greenery that has these really beautiful flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a few of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert some short and some long. Remember, when you put something on the top, what goes up must come down. So go all the way down, and then give this a little bit like that so it shows. And then you move opposite side, and this guy is way too long, so we're gonna cut it a little short. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it opposite side, and then I'm going to cut a little shorter one. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it a little fly to this one up here on the top, And I just love the sound of the foam crashing. It's just so relaxing to me. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here, pointing towards my left, and then immediately I'm going to swap sides and I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this is too long. Give me 1 second while I cut this guy. And so immediately move to the other side and see, that way you have all of your points already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add yet another lateral over here. And so now this is gonna be, I'll swap it around so you guys can see actually. So I went to my left, now I have to go to my right. And what that's gonna do, that's going to ensure that I have the same flower going all the way around, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one right here. You want to have the same flower and the same greenery all the way around, so that way it's balanced. And as you guys can see, I have some of these cute little greeneries. So basically just go ahead and insert those because that will help you cover some of the greenery, some of that foam. Look at that. How fun is this? I love it. All right, so our bunny is doing good. We are done with him. I'm gonna get all of my flowers ready and I'll be right back with you. All right, so we have two types of flower. One is gonna be our focal flower, which is like the larger ones, like this beautiful ranunculus in orange, and then this iris. And then we're gonna have some flyaways, which we have this lavender and the fox hollow. And that's what's gonna give it that wispiness that we're always going for. And over here, I have some tulips that I'm going to use just for decorative purpose. So I'm gonna put those aside. So I'm going to start my centerpiece with the beautiful ranunculus. And I'm going to cut them a little bit short because the bigger the flower, the closer it needs to be to the base of the centerpiece or the flower arrangement, okay? So be sure to cut them short. I'm gonna go ahead and do sets. The other rule that I made up is like sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s for balance. So make sure that just go ahead and I'm gonna do a set of 2 right here. Then I'm gonna spin it around and I'm gonna do just 1. But this one I wanted to kind of stand up a little bit like that. And look how cute that is. How cute, I love it. Then I'm gonna do a set of 3 tucked in over here, but remember to cut them short so they are closer to the foam, like so. And remember to save some of those greeneries to use to fill in. At the end, you wanna save some of the flowers that you're using to make sure that you are balancing towards the end of your arrangement. I'm gonna add yet another one over here towards the bottom, like that. How cute is this, you guys? Isn't that amazing? All right, so then I have a set of 2, a set of 3, and 1, and I have this really pretty peach peony. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert this right here for balance, and I wanna make sure this all the way down, like that. So now our bunny is encased in flowers, and I'm gonna use all of these leftover things that I just took from other flowers to fill in so you don't see that foam. All right, so this is what he looks like now. He looks like he's in a field of flowers. So then I'm gonna bring some of these really pretty ranunculus. And what I like about these ones from Walmart is that they come in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s already. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull in between the flowers. Do sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So I'm gonna do 2 right here. They are going to be with this larger one, and then I'm gonna move to the back and I'm gonna do another set of 3. I need to cut a few of them short. And what I like about this particular flower is that it really highlights this orange one right here. It makes it look like a show flower. So you wanna make sure you highlight them. So that's 3 of them. That is turning out really, really gorgeous. And I love the combination, you guys, of fuchsia, orange, and purple. It is one of my favorite color schemes, and I just love it. So I'm gonna add some of these irises, like I was telling you earlier. Here's my rubber band. I'll make sure that I save all of those. So I'm gonna add some of these iris. I'm gonna go ahead and put one that's towards the bottom. Then I'm gonna spin all the way around, and I'm gonna add one right here towards the bottom. And I'm gonna do yet one here for the top. So that's a set of 2 right here. And I'm gonna do a set of 3 over on this side. Also remember to keep it on the triangle. So you do 1 on the top, 1 here on the bottom, facing north, and then you do another one over here. Oh, another one over here facing south, and that's gonna give you a bigger spot right here. And how sweet is this? So those are all of our show flowers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some of the flyaways, and I have for that some of this lilac with my rubber band. Let me take that off because I will need it when I'm done with this bouquet. All right, so I love this lilac because it really has that wispiness to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it like that so it pokes out. I'm gonna go ahead and add one what goes up, must come down, so there's two. I'm gonna add one right here to my bunny, and look how beautiful this color combination, like I was telling you, the orange and the purple just marry together so beautifully. And then you add a touch of fuchsia to it, and it just looks like spring, and it's so beautiful. I'm gonna add one right here to the bottom, make sure that I go into my foam, and you can hear when that happens, and I love it. I'm gonna add one here to the top. Lilac is one of my favorite flowers to work with, whether it's silk or fresh, because it just adds that wispiness to it, and I am in love with it. All right, what goes up must come down. Remember, when you are doing flyaways, you're basically just finishing off your bouquet, and you have to make sure that it's all the way around the centerpiece, because it's what's gonna give her that finished look to it. Make sure that you go into the foam right here like that. Look how pretty this is looking to me. I cannot wait for you guys to see the tablescape we're getting ready together. All right, so now I'm going to add the second flyaway, which is this Fox Hollow. Once again, you can find this at Walmart. I know they have it available right now. And this is yet another type of flyaway, so I'm going to start right here. What goes up must come down. You always tell yourself that, and you always, well, you'll always think of me, and then also you will always have really pretty and balanced flower arrangements, because if you just remember that rule, I told myself, Ramon, you will be a good florist because you always have a balance on your floral bouquets. Look how beautiful that is looking. So pretty. Okay, so what goes up right here must come down over here. Look how gorgeous that is. All right, one over here. What goes up must come down. And the longer ones you want to use towards the bottom, because then it allows you to really reach to that foam. So I'm going to add one right here. What goes up must come down. And what happens on the left happens on the right. All right, we are about done with this glorious centerpiece, and I just love this cute little bunny. And one last one. I'm going to put it right here. How cute is this, you guys? And I had some of these tulips I wanted to add. Let me see if I need them. Let me see if I cut it. You know what? I don't think I need it. So I think we are, like my ex-boss used to say, quit while you are ahead. So I'm going to get a table ready, and I will show you guys that just by swapping this cute little bunny and putting your candle in here, and putting your hurricane over it, you change the look of your centerpiece. But let me get that table ready, and I'll be right back. All right, so before I show you the tablescapes, I want to show you two things. Number one is the bunny was sitting too low, so what you need to do is cut a little piece of foam, put it down, and then we can sit our bunny on top of it. And as you guys can see now, he's rised up and he is ready for the table. And this would be, like I told you, the Easter look. It is very colorful and is very, very gorgeous. However, I want to show you that just by swapping our little bunny and adding this candle right here, and then we add our hurricane to it, we grab a remote and turn this candle on, and you have a completely different look that you can just use for spring. You don't have to do just Easter, but this could also be just for spring. Okay, so I just wanted to show you real quick how this monstera leaf serves as a placemat right here on this place setting. I'm not only using the monstera leaf, but I'm also using the wicker charger. I found this napkin at Goodwill, believe it or not. I have a set of 6. And then also here is a wine glass for red and white glass. So this is how easy it really is to set a beautiful place setting. Like I told you, I only found 2, but I'm gonna go back until I can find the rest of them, and I can have a set of 6 to set a beautiful table. What do you guys think? All right, so I want to show you how quick and easy it is to pot your own plants. And this is going to be a faux plant that I purchased at a store called Nail Hills in Kansas. I'm gonna leave their phone number down below if you guys want to order one of these. It is super cute and I just absolutely love it. But this is the container from Walmart, so I just went ahead and put some bags here and created a little dome to sit my little plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy right here, and I'm gonna move it to the side so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put it over to this side. So I'm gonna push down a little bit, and then I have some recycled moss that I have used from previous projects. And if you guys saw in the video, Walmart has this moss, and actually I have the little bag right here. This is the kind of moss that I like to buy because it is super affordable and you can always recycle it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pull on it right here, and this is what's gonna give your plant a finished look. I'm gonna twist around, and you can just grab little chunks and then push down, but you want it to get off the rim of the container. So if you don't have a lazy Susan, you guys, you really do need one, because look how easy it just makes to do all these projects. So that way it looks finished. When I worked at the flowers shop, we did this with fresh flowers. So this is something that you can also do with fresh flowers. So I'm going to make sure that everything is pushed down like this, so you can see the rim of your plant. And then what I'm going to do, I'm gonna cut this guy right here because it's already broken and I don't want any broken pieces. I love this cute little plant. Then if you don't have some of this, I'm gonna link it down below. This is a live shine, and look what it does to your plant. It just gives it that life again. It removes all the dirt. So now I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna put it. Keep watching. As you guys can see, by placing this plant right here with a white container and having the white lamp, it really does create that balance on my entryway table. And it was super affordable and super easy to create this potted plant. This can be done with a fresh plant, it can be done with any faux plant, and it was just so affordable. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to create a beautiful floral bouquet that is going to make a statement in your interior design. It's going to be super simple, and I think everybody can make it. All you're going to need is some different foliages. I have these ones from Walmart, some fake twigs or branches from a fallen tree, our big monstera leaf, and about a dozen viburnum stems. Also our shine leaf, which you guys know I cannot live without, and it's going to be linked down below, and I'll show you how I use it. So it's very simple to make this bouquet, you guys. So I'm gonna start with these twigs. And I might have to back up a little bit because it's going to be pretty tall, but you know what? The taller the bouquet, the more of a statement it makes. So I'm gonna start with this twig right here, and I'm gonna grab, remember, this is our core, and that's where everything radiates from. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start inserting some of these foliages from Walmart, and I wanna talk to you guys about where to find your stems of florals. You know, I like to get them from all over the place. I get them from Walmart, I get them from Hobby Lobby, I get them from Shinoda Design Center, a local supplier here in San Diego. But you can go just about anywhere. You can go to Michael's, you can go to other places to get your floral bouquets. And as you guys can see, I'm inserting from my right and then I'm veering to my left, and that's going to create that radiation all around the bouquet. You see, it's all the way around, and I did one shooting up, so that way it serves as an anchor in all of the floral bouquet. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with the shorter stems of viburnum, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna put one right here. I'm gonna continue veering to the left. I'm gonna insert one right here. And I want it to be really floppy because if you've seen viburnum in the wild, you know it is like a bush more than a plant, and it really is very fluffy. And it's one of my second favorite flower, the first one being hydrangea. All right, so insert from the right, veer to the left. Never letting go of your core right here, only open to receive the flower, and always veer to the left. This is how simple this is, you guys. Veer to the left. I'm gonna start inserting to the top right here. When you insert to the top, just go ahead and open your hand a little bit, and then pinch again. like that. And then I'm gonna add this one right here. So that's taking shape, but now what I'm gonna do is bring the long stems of viburnum, and those are gonna be the ones that are here on the top. So I'm gonna start, as you guys can see, these stems are sturdier, they're firmer, and I'm gonna add one right here, just opening my hand like that. Then I'm gonna veer to the left, and then I'm gonna add another one right here. And always when you make a floral arrangement, you have to have some sort of greenery, because that's going to help really anchor your bouquet of flowers. I'm gonna add another one up here to the top and open my hand real quick to receive that stem. Make sure that you get it right where it needs to go. Veer to the left, and like I said, this is more of a statement bouquet that is going to really say welcome to my home as soon as you enter. I'm gonna add one right here in the middle. So now what I'm going to do, I have one left. All right, so I'm gonna add it right here. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my container and I'm gonna place all of the stems right here. Make sure I don't let go until that is right there. And then you can fluff your bouquet. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push that a little bit to that side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my Monstera, because if you've seen Monstera, real Monstera is really shiny. Look what this does. It really just gets it that sheen. I'm gonna do that one. It kind of removes the dust, it gets it live. And this also can be used for live plants. So I really recommend to get one. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab it right here. I'm gonna pinch in real quick. Then I'm gonna insert one Monstera, and that serves as an anchor for that plant. And I'm gonna do one more right here. So I'm gonna pinch in and introduce my Monstera right here. So I'm gonna take it inside, give it a little fluff, and I'll show you what it looks like. Keep watching. Okay, so far we've covered tablescapes, centerpieces, plants and floral arrangements, and mantles. And now I'm gonna take you guys into the bedroom and give you a few ideas on how you can change the look into your bedroom using just a few items. Interior design is all about the details, keep that in mind. And if I can do it, so can you. I'm here to encourage you to just give it a try, change a few things around, move a few pieces of furniture, and make your interior design and your decorating 22 the most fun. Are you guys ready? Let's watch. All right, so welcome to my bedroom. I wanted to show you a few things. First of all is the pillows that I got from Target. I am in love with the color, you guys. It really does go in with the colors that I have here in the bedroom. And also the lamps, they look so clean and crisp against the gray of the wall. They really just pop against it. Before I had some see-through lamps that really were just bland. So this white really does pop from the wall, and I love it. And the shades I already have from the existing lamps, so I just went ahead and swapped them from one lamp to the other one. So I want to mention a few things. When I go shopping, I really have a Rolodex in my mind of the decorating items that I already have, so that way I can swap them around the house. As you guys can see right here, I have the pillows from the living room and the sofa, so I brought them into the room, and also the drapery panel right here, so that way it looks like a cohesive look in the bedroom. I love swapping around decorating items in my interior design because it really keeps my budget at a lower cost. And so I love the way this looks. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think. But now I'm gonna take these items and I'm gonna take them into the living room to give them a brand new life. So come with me. Here in the bedroom, I wanted to give you some affordable ideas on how you can use some Walmart products. And I started with this pillow, and this is how I use the drapery panels. I actually had my mother sew this pillow for me. She was so kind and gracious to pull out the sewing machine and just do it for me, so clap for my mom. So this is how I use the drapery panels. It's just an accent. These guys right here are from IKEA, and the inserts from IKEA as well. And then I just wanted to show you that you can pull a piece of artwork to use it as a focal point and then pull the colors down into the bedding. So that is one tip that I can give you. If you cannot find the fabric that you like in a pillow cover and an accent color, just go find a drapery panel that is affordable, and if you have a sewing machine or if you have a mother like mine, then ask him to do it. And as you guys can see, it's just the right pop of color and pattern in the bedroom to create some character. So now I'm gonna take you back into the living room and I'm gonna show you how I use that little lamp to light up a corner. So come with me. All right, so in this corner in my living room, I had a little box. I don't know if you guys remember, I had a little box that belonged to my grandma when she had her boutique, and then another pottery with moss on top of it. But I feel like at night, you know, I like mood lighting better than overhead lighting, especially in the evenings. I really do think that it sets the tone. And finding a cute little lamp like this that is affordable just to place in corners in your home, it really does elevate the look of your home when you have that evening light turned down and just all these lamps turned on. It is super, super gorgeous. So I love the way this turned out. I love the fact that it complements the pictures. It goes well with the drapery right here. I love the color because it makes it look really clean. That is another tip I can give you. Look for neutral colors when you're looking for lamps and lighting solutions. That way it can go anywhere around the home. I can move, like I told you, this lamp into the perhaps the office on the desk, or put it on a corner in the kitchen just to leave at night. And as you guys can see, it just creates that mood lighting that I am obsessed with, especially during spring and summer, well, actually all the way to fall. Okay, so I wanted to show you real quick this idea of the cutting board or charcuterie board used as a tray. And as you can see, I set up a drink station just like they had at the store. And I just want to make sure that I like to mix the more rustic feel of the wood with some of crystal and some pretty stemware and some silverware to create a more elevated look. It really does help your cutting board look more expensive. And it really, what I like about it is that it just gathers all of your materials. So I cannot wait for my cousins to come and have a glass of wine with me, and I think they're really going to enjoy it. But what do you think? Well, that's all I have for today, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video on interior design and decorating ideas for spring 2022. I had so much fun, so leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite part, what was your favorite project, and what is the first project that you will be tackling this year 2022 in your interior design. I cannot wait to share more ideas, so if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's next here on Ramon at Home. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and until next time, bye.